about to start making soap on the campfire thing over there. Just getting things ready, and then decided, well, the sky looks kind of dark. Maybe I ought to go check the weather. While I come in to check the weather, this happened. It's a pretty big old downpour here. The camera doesn't really do it justice. It's coming down hard, and it's pretty cool. So the soap video will have to wait for another day. So the rain stopped, and I decided that, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and try this. And it doesn't matter if it turns out crappy, I don't care. Trying to get the fire going here, and actually had a hard time getting cardboard to burn. Cardboard like in pop Pepsi boxes or beer boxes, whatever. The humidity is so high that was actually difficult to do. And then I've got the pan here, and that's actually sesame seed oil in there that I seasoned it with and re-seasoned it. And I didn't really put a lot of effort into it. You can see it's kind of crappy looking, but it does have a crack in it, and I really don't care how it comes out. And there's a vegetable oil, and over here is the KOH, the lye. This has been stored for a long time. I don't remember exactly where this come from, but I do remember it was expensive, and maybe it'll make good soap. If it don't, well, it just goes to the trash. So, and of course, doing this. Yep, that's right, it's that time. So, I'm going to get the fire going, get some coals, and we're going to see how this works. Well, I got the fire going, finally. Took quite a while. I think the humidity was really messing with it. Got my mason jar here with a nice home-built stir stick here, custom built. And I've got my, where are we at? There we are. My KOH, my lye. As you can see, that's the big granules. I think you can see that. There's the big stuff. That's the highest grade lye that you can get. I actually got this for, I built a couple HHO generators for vehicles and had pretty good results. And then nobody wanted to do that anymore. So anyway, I got a little over 8 ounces of water in this, and I'm going to put, it's not an exact science, and I really don't care, but I'm going to put it in real slow, because it does get hot. Where are we at? Here we are, okay, see? Just drop it in a little bit. That's enough for now. Let's let him set, and we'll do some stirring. And it's going to start turning colors, and it's going to get hot. I suppose a mason jar is probably good enough. It's been right here by the fire, kind of warming up. Okay, there's a little bit. I think I'm probably going to put 2 more scoops in there. Spoonfuls. It looks like it dissolved pretty good. Now, I'm going to get another. Okay, another one. Let's get some of this. That's about as much. You can see the granules. I think you can. Of course you can't. Stupid camera. Anyway, I put this in here. Where are we at? Okay, put this down in here. Kind of slowly. And it's already turning colors, which is good. Now if this busts, if this glass heats up too much, it doesn't feel hot. But it's already changing colors. Oh God, about to dump the whole darn thing. It's changing colors. And it's already dissolved. It is not heating up yet. Nah, it still feels kind of cool to the touch. Now, I'm going to go with 1 more spoonful here. It will start to pretty soon. Where are we at? Okay. Let's get a good spoonful in here this time. A big old spoonful. And there we are. Okay, let's get up here. That's 3. You know what? Actually, I'm just going to go with 4 because I don't know how big my batch is this time. 4 scoops. And if the thing busts, well, oh well. I can always Do it again some other time. There's 4 spoonfuls. Okay, set that stuff aside. Give them a good stir. You can see the gunk in there. Now I'm just going to stir this with my custom built stir stick. And I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to let it do its thing. Now the fire's got to burn way down, but kind of want to have my lye water ready first. Yeah, we got a long ways to go. That's way too hot. You don't want a whole lot of heat when you're doing this. So, I'll set that right there. Nice view of the fire anyway, in this little fire pit. It took forever to get this thing going. I think it was the humidity. And look, you can see my shadow right there. Yeah, that's the cover and the racks and stuff that go inside this. But you can see my shadow. That means the sun's shining. Really weird day. Whole bunch of rain and then a whole bunch of sun. So we'll see what happens here in a little bit. Well, now since I'm running out of time, I didn't wait for everything to burn down. I set the rack here on the corner, and you really don't want a lot of heat in this anyway. And this is the cast iron skillet that I restored in the fire. So now I'm going to try this one-handed. Put my stir stick. Wow, it looks really dark. I suppose that's from the stick here. That's sitting right there. Now I'm just going to pour a little bit in. I can see what I'm doing. Pour a little bit. Now see, it's changing colors already. Oh, shit, it's starting to sizzle. We don't want that. Let's back him up. Back him up. There we go. It doesn't matter if the color changes and it gets gross and all that stuff. It doesn't really matter. Just stir it. This is just gonna be soap. Damn fly beating on me. Okay, there, as long as we're stirring. Damn flies trying to eat on me. Okay, I'm gonna add the rest of the lye now. If I can see, okay. There we go. There's the lye. Probably did that too fast, but it doesn't really matter now. Let me get my stick here. It's already starting to get weird. This is what it does. It goes through this weird process. Sorry. Okay, there. You can see it starting to clump up a little bit. And I think I still probably have too much heat on this. You don't want a lot of heat on here. I did put a lot of oil in here. And there's things online you can watch about where everybody measures everything out perfectly with scales and, you know, their measuring cups. And, well, this is how the pioneers did it. They didn't use scales. They didn't have scales. They just took handfuls or wooden spoonfuls of whatever and threw it in the thing, and the soap come out. Of course, they used lye made out of wood ash, and they also used the oil from animal fat. So I guess I am cheating a little bit, but we're going to see how this goes. So now my big thing is to just keep stirring. It goes through a chemical change called saponification. Kind of a stupid word for just getting gooey. So, just going to let this do its thing for a little bit. I'm going to stir it, and we'll come back when something cool happens. So I've probably got a little bit more heat than what I should have here, but you can see, maybe you can see, if I can get the camera close, of course the wind's blowing, but you can kind of see down in there, oops, everything's sort of settling, and there's like a curd sort of thing going on. Now if you've never made homemade soap, the end result is very plain. There's no smell, no fragrance, I guess. That means there's no chemicals and stuff in it. You can see the stick. Of course, the camera won't focus on the stick. There's little chunks of stuff on there. That's the soap starting to form. Now, what I'm going to do, I've never done this, so you'll be the first with me. I've got some spearmint. and a weird, no, it's not a bug. I thought it was a bug. It's just grass or something. So I'm going to throw some of this in there, and I'm going to use large leaves, and I'm thinking that they're going to kind of dissolve up and maybe give the soap a nice spearmint smell or flavor. I'm not really going to eat it, I guess, but maybe those guys will do something. It'll, I don't know, it might react with the whole chemical thing going on in there, and it might screw it up. Maybe I should have saved that for the mold, but it's too late now. They're in there. So here we go. We got some heat. As you can see, the fire's kind of over in that direction. There's still a good bit of heat right here. And look at that leaf. It's already starting to wilt, so I assume some of the stuff's coming out of it. And maybe it'll make it taste better. Or taste better. Listen to me. Maybe it'll smell better, or smell like something. So I can already tell that I've got a long way to go. So, okay, we'll just come back when something cool happens. Well, I've been here for about an hour on low heat, and it's not really doing what I think it should be doing. It's clumping a little bit, but I kind of think it should be doing a lot more than what it's doing. So I'm sort of wondering if those leaves I threw in were, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I've played with the heat a bunch. I've increased some heat, and then I reduced the heat to see if anything would happen. And it doesn't really seem like it's doing what I want it to do. And you can see it's not directly over the fire. It kind of looks like it on the camera, but it's not. I'm sure it's quite hotter than what it should be, but I've also taken it away and made it a lot cooler than what it should probably be. But it's not clumping. It's not doing what it's supposed to. There's little tiny clumps on there, which you saw in the last little clip there, but it's not going any further. So I'm kind of wondering if I shouldn't have thrown those mint leaves in there. Maybe I should have waited until I did the until I pour it in the mold. So I guess I'm just gonna let this go for a little while and see what happens. If anything cool happens, I'll give you an update, but right now I'm kind of thinking this might be a loss. Well, sorta. This is the pan that I restored, and it had the crack in it, and there's nothing dripping. So the crack isn't really that bad for this. There is not opening, it's not letting anything come out of it. So, I mean, you can kind of see, look at that. Here's the oil, and here's where the clumps start. That's what it's supposed to do with soap. When I mix it, it's got a real dark color. That's probably the cast iron too. Excuse me. Got a mouthful of smoke there, or a lungful from the fire. And yeah, there's clumps, but it's not going any further. It's not. I don't think it's doing what it's supposed to. So I'm thinking that the leaves that I put in there were probably a bad idea. I'm going to pull this back away. It's getting a little bit hot, and that handle was actually hot. So, if this is crap, then I'll just try again at some other time. And this was going to be my mold, which will still be, which are something in there. Just an old milk jug, or water jug, I guess, that I cut. And like you can see how it's cut. Gonna pour the mold in there, or pour the soap in there, since it's a small batch anyway. And then there's a nice little divider right through the middle where I can break it in half. And that would have, sorry, it's not centered. There's something in there. So it doesn't matter now because I really don't think this is gonna work so good. Oh hell, it's starting to boil now. That's not good. That's way too hot. So I really don't think my temperature is the problem. I think that maybe throwing those leaves in there. You can see up here, it did what it's supposed to do. That's soap. You can see it smearing. that's the soap. And if I can scoop it, well, I can't get any chunks on here. Now that's all foam, but it started to, and then it like just stopped. So I guess that's probably the mint leaves that I put in there, which I should have done. I'm gonna move this back anyway. I'm not giving up on it, but ow, son of a bitch, that thing's hot. But I don't think I did it right. I think those leaves really screwed me. And yeah, the color is just from the contaminants of the cast iron and my stick. You know, now, I don't know. I can see it clumping when I stir it, and there's still foam. The foam usually goes away pretty quick, but you can kind of see some of the clumps in there, like over here in the corner, back in here. You can sort of see some of those clumps, and there's some clumps right there on the end. So it did start to. So I guess maybe I shouldn't have put the mint leaves in there. I don't know what's in there, but it's some sort of chemical reaction that it does, whatever that saponification stuff is. Big old word that smart people use. But I guess if I was smarter, I wouldn't have screwed up this whole batch of soap, which I probably did. But no biggie. You know, you live and you learn, right? We'll just try her again some other time. At least I know the pan works. This old pan that was just going to be thrown away, with the warped bottom that's terrible and the giant crack that is not leaking. So, anyway, if this sucks, which it probably will, I'll just try again. So if something cool happens and it does finally clump up like it's supposed to, I'll tack this on the end of the video. If not, then this is the end of the video. So anyway, even with failures, they're still learning. Hope everybody enjoys their day. You don't know if you have another one coming. And, especially, thanks for watching.